Hello everybody, and welcome back to the channel for this week's safety recap. Before we get started, make sure that you give me a thumbs up down below here to encourage me to make more videos of this type. Also, subscribe to my YouTube channel where you will find additional videos of this nature, toolbox safety topic videos, and leadership training videos. And if you find this information useful or helpful, make sure you share it with your colleagues and coworkers. Well, let's go ahead and get started with this week's safety recap. Thank you for welcoming me onto your job sites this past week. The weather is starting to trend to the cooler side, but our production and safety spirit is on fire. Please continue to do the good work and be the example that others learn from. Now, there were some items of safety noted, and I will speak to them after a few words about having a sense of urgency. Now, why do we need a sense of urgency? I read this article by Harvey. He's a motivational speaker and a businessman, and I thought I would share it with you. The founder of a highly successful company was asked what it took to succeed. He answered, the same thing it took to get started. A sense of urgency about getting things done. The people who make things happen share the same sense of urgency. Ask any entrepreneur to list the keys to getting their company off the ground, and urgency will be among the traits listed. No matter how intelligent or able you may be, if you don't have a sense of urgency, you better start developing it now. The world is full of competent people who honestly intend to do things tomorrow. However, tomorrow seldom comes to them. Many individuals with less talent are more successful because they understand the importance of urgency. In other words, get started now. The downfall for many people and companies is once they are successful, complacency sets in. They are comfortable and satisfied with the status quo. Complacency is the enemy of urgency. Things don't happen by sitting back, and things don't happen by watching and waiting for others. John Kotter, Harvard Business School professor and author of A Sense of Urgency, says that keeping up urgency is a challenge because leaders must create it over and over. It must be embedded in your culture. Companies are vulnerable to complacency to set in. He advises that the key for leadership in maintaining a sense of urgency is to value the capacity to appreciate unexpected opportunities. This focus results in work that is highly leveraged, meaningful work, a culture that is satisfying to the heart and mind, and an organization that continues to succeed in a changing world. So the challenge shifts to keeping employees motivated and determined to succeed. According to Gallup's State of American Workplace report published in 2013, only 30% of employees are actively committed to doing a good job. These are your engaged employees who have passion and a profound connection for their company. Unfortunately, 50% of employees only put in their time and are essentially checked out. The remaining 20% are actively disengaged employees who are counterproductive and negatively influence others. Another problem is false urgency, where you have a lot of activity without productive results. John Kotter explains, false urgency is rooted in anger and anxiety. This anger creates conflict, battles, and a lot of meetings. It is often created by pressure from above with actions that are not aimed at the root cause or real solutions. True urgency is focused on accomplishing something important each day. Urgency is not driven by fear, but rather by a deep determination. Bill Gates, the founder of Microsoft, talked about urgency in his book, The Road Ahead. He said the secret to Microsoft's success was the employees always thought of themselves on the losing side, which made them strive to be number one. This attitude created a sense of urgency, which made them work hard to flourish in the highly competitive IT industry. In today's entrepreneurial environment, if you don't move fast, you get run over. Without a sense of urgency, people and businesses just can't move fast enough. Now, this is not a new concept. Centuries ago, Leonardo da Vinci said, "I have been impressed with the urgency of doing." Knowing is not enough. We must apply. Being willing is not enough. We must do. Legendary football coach Vince Lombardi demonstrated a tremendous sense of urgency when he took the helm of the Green Bay Packers. They had a miserable 10-1-1 record in 1958, and at training camp in 1959, he had some stern words for them. Lombardi said, "Gentlemen, we're going to have a great football team. We're going to win games. Get that? You are going to learn to block, run, and tackle. You're going to outplay all the teams that come up against you. Get that?" And then he explained his sense of urgency. "You are to have confidence in me and enthusiasm for my system. Hereafter, I want you only to think of three things: your home, your religion, and the Green Bay Packers, and in that order. Let enthusiasm take hold of you beginning now." Virtually the same players as the year before went on to win 7 games that year, a division title the next year, and an NFL championship the third year. The renewed passion for the game, fueled by their newfound urgency, produced astounding results. And here's finally McKay's moral: if it's worth doing, do it now. On with the recap. Let's talk about face and eye protection. Employees shall be provided with eye and face protection equipment when machines or operations present potential eye or face injury from physical, chemical, or radiation agents. Approved safety glasses, goggles, welding shields, and face shields shall be required when engaged in operations such as welding, burning, grinding, chipping, breaking concrete, or handling chemicals, corrosive liquids, or molten materials, and where wind-blown trash or flying debris is present. Prescription glasses must have an approved safety lens. Employees and visitor eye protection is required at all times while on the work site. Let's talk about hearing protection. Hearing protection is required in high noise areas or when performing high noise producing work that produces 85 dBA or greater. Disposable hearing protective devices fitted in the ear are acceptable protection. Let's talk about respiratory protection. Ensure that all team members required to wear respiratory protection have an annual respiratory physical and fit test. Consult your EH&S or the OSHA standard or your safety professional for details about respiratory protection requirements. All right, boys and girls, that's it for this week's safety recap. Thanks for stopping by and thanks for watching. Make sure that you give me a thumbs up down below here to encourage me to make more videos of this type. Also, subscribe to my YouTube channel where you'll find additional videos of this nature, toolbox safety topic videos, and leadership training videos. And if you found this information useful or helpful, make sure that you share it with your colleagues and coworkers. And remember, until we see each other again, take care of yourself because you're number one. Look out for your coworkers and help ensure their safety. Have a grateful day. And remember, I will see you in the field. All right, I got tongue-tangulated a time or two in there. Anyway, guys, a sense of urgency doesn't mean running around like crazy and bypassing safety standards or safety procedures. What it's talking about is having a goal in mind, setting daily limits, using reasonable thought, and put together a game plan for the whole day, and having a sense of urgency to move forward, planning your work. Don't leave it open-ended. Put a time frame on it, and then work toward that time frame. That represents a sense of urgency, and you'll be amazed at how fast your projects move along if you put that diligence into it every day. Anyway, remember that these videos can be used on your job site as a toolbox safety topic, or a toolbox topic, or whatever you want to call it. Just make sure that you have a sign-in sheet and you date it and list what video you watch. This video, other videos that I've got out there, and other people make videos. Just list the video that you watched, have a brief discussion about it, have everybody sign off on the PTP, or the sign-in sheet, and then that becomes a record. That becomes a record that you can hand over to OSHA if they were to inquire about your training process and procedures as far as continuing training for your teammates or your employees is concerned. Anyway, if you watch to the very end, I'll lay in some of those Easter eggs I did a weekend or so ago, and maybe you'll like them, maybe you won't. Oh, one other thing before I go. I made a video not long ago where I addressed a gentleman for not having his safety glasses on. And then just a very few minutes later, I got out of the truck and didn't have mine on, and he busted me. And I'll put that link up there for that title up here somewhere, and you can watch that video. Anyway, a young man wrote me back, and he says, I'm a 28-year-old I'm a 28-year-old mainline hoe operator, on-site safety man. I survived a demo saw accident when I was 19. Deep lacerations to my chest and neck, missed my carotid artery by 2 centimeters. I made up my mind then I never wanted anyone to feel what I felt that day, knowing I was probably going to bleed out. So even before I was given the safety position, I took it upon myself to make sure everyone went home safe every day. Very powerful. Make it your duty, make it your responsibility to see that your co-workers and your colleagues go home safe every day. Take that responsibility on your shoulders, and you'll be amazed at the people around you who will buy into that if you do it with a good attitude and a training mode in your training. So thank you. And his name is, it's a weird one, Lionel Richie Crackpipe. I have no idea what all that means, but that's the handle he goes by, and he responded to that video, and I appreciate it, sir. That's a powerful comment. Anyway, thanks for watching. Have a grateful day, and I'll see you in the field. Stop.